If I had a nickel for every campaign we were in together where we ended up playing a duet game and then just having a long conversation about my character, I'd have two nickels. It isn't a lot of money, but I
That's so
really
true.
appreciate that it's happened twice.
Oh, it's awesome. No, it's so awesome. Anyway, so welcome. We are here. We're playing something, but basically it is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, and we are going to explore a relationship, whether it be through a playtest of Charge and Guard or just talking about it. We'll see where this goes, but this will be a supplemental to the Apocalypse Keys Bonds of Power series that I have. So we'll see how this goes. I will not post this until we get to that part in the series where it's like, who is who is Petri again, and why is Lydia important, or vice versa.
I know
So
exactly where this would go too. Because what was it was session like 11 or 12
something like that,
that I
where
arbitrarily decided Peter existed again.
I don't remember exactly how.
It was right after the the island. What was it called?
Oh, Island Zero. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, you were like primordial goo, and you were trying to seal the rift, but then yeah, I mean, it was a whole bunch of like very cosmic type stuff happening, and yeah, I mean, you were trying to hold on to Lydia, I guess, as a grounding, and then that's where I think afterwards, like
Yeah.
even Zero, the Omen had asked about it. It's like, like what does Division have on Lydia? And it was basically like the whole idea that, you know, she was there when well, excuse me, when the Peter she knew turned into Petri. So, yeah. So do we want to like, use the charge and guard questions as kind of like a basis for creating this prequel, or are
Let's
we
try it
okay?
just to have something.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do the dangers part first, the setting and dangers part first, and then we can decide, you know, who's essentially the charge and guard. Charge and guard. Okay. So, what type of
Okay.
setting are we playing in? A world of omens. That's that's basic.
Apocalypse keys, bound of bonds of power.
Yep. And apocalypse keys. And then, what kind of dangers are there in the world? Omens.
Yeah, discovery, death,
Hmm. Um, otherworldly threats.
philosophy. That might just be for me though.
Yeah. As you run confusing circles around your fellow omens. So, yeah. All right. So, given that, um, at this point in time, which again is the prequel to their current relationship in the game in Apocalypse Keys, who's the charge and who's the guard?
Now
I
I
thought
said
we were
this, yeah, I said in chat that
Mhm.
I'd love a dramatic reversal.
Okay, which
So it
is
would which would be Peter as the guard and Lydia as the charge.
cool.
But I'm
I like that.
open to other ideas.
No, that's kind of what I was thinking. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's
All
just
right.
really layer in the guilt. It is Ash Wednesday after all.
I don't need ashes for that. Ah, that's my headspace, like constantly. All right, great. All right. So we're gonna take turns again, like you had suggested before, when we played this once
Hmm.
before. So, and not starting with the who are you and what do you look like, obviously. Um, Although we could establish age
I
because,
genuinely don't know
I mean, like I'm
what Peter's
thinking,
age would be.
well, I mean, if they're kind of like around the same age per se, I think of Lydia being in her like 30s, you know, like established enough that
Yeah.
she's experienced and she has a lot of knowledge, but like not so old that she's feeling it in her bones, kind of thing. Like, like getting jaded and shit. So,
I'd say that's about the same for Peter.
okay. So then when we're talking about the past, before he turned, like why is she important? Did we come up as junior agents together or junior cleanup crew together in division?
I don't
I know that.
remember where I heard this, but there's an old KGB tactic that you always induct agents in pairs because they're much less likely to desert when they have one other agent that they're dependent on.
Nice. No, I mean not nice, but you know what I mean. Um, it makes
It's
sense.
it's fucked up and incredibly appropriate for the
Yeah, yeah,
premise of
no,
this game.
absolutely. No, no, no. Yeah, I can. All right. Anyway, why are you important? Okay, so partnered with Peter. I forgot you did have a last name for him, but I can't remember what the hell it
I
is.
think Corda,
Yeah, that sounds right. Corda.
which doesn't mean anything.
As we want to say, like damage control
Yeah.
agents. We clean up after the recruited in as pair. Do we say recruited or trained? Or
Trained.
both? Okay, thank you.
I think it would be, I mean, not better, but it would be more. I'm imagining that they wouldn't have known each other before coming to division.
Okay. So we're thinking like like fresh faced out of college.
Yeah, no, same as any 20 something that gets like a master's degree and will go works for the FBI,
mm,
but for monster shit.
for monster shit. Okay. So why are you important? So, part of this pair, but I mean like, it's does that explain why she's important to Peter? And does it matter? So the question is like, why are you important? So I mean, like, is it
Oh,
important because she's part of this pair of damage control agents, or is she important to Peter? And if so, why?
see, I'm tempted to just make it the trauma bond, but I don't.
What is it?
I'm tempted to just make it like, no, we're part of this pair. No one else on Earth knows what I've been through more than Lydia.
Ah, I
But
will. Yeah, maybe because that would make sense because we'd have to be as trained as a pair as we were. Maybe that also includes like some kind of like psychological bullshit.
oh yeah, we're fucking
Her
psychic
training.
linked or whatever we were at some point. They fed us
Yeah.
some LSD because they be doing that.
Oh my god.
We want to make division.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, like again, like we're talking 10 years ago, or like at least 10 years ago. Hold on, and
Ah,
then
yeah, the 90s, 10 years ago, for sure, definitely.
hold on. Fuck, you just said it. Lydia knows more about Peter's past life than anyone. How did you become the charge's protector? Were you chosen, or did you designate yourself? I mean, yeah, pair.
I mean, we're paired up. I definitely took on the role of protector out of like, I don't know, so for some reason.
Would you say duty, or because you cared about her?
You're coming up to my constant problem as my preference for any character relationship is for two people to just be constantly asking each other, what are we? And that's it. That's the whole relationship. You don't need to
Well,
put like who needs to put labels on it? It's fucked up and insane.
I mean,
Of course I would protect you. Of course I would die for you. Why would I ever take a break?
Designated
It's
myself.
definitely a designated myself situation.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I do that? I don't know. Freud would have an answer. I don't like that guy very much.
Why? I don't know. That's where I go put down. Why do you need someone to protect you? Hmm. Interesting. You know what? Considering Peter's and Petri's like, penchant for philosophy, maybe again being fresh-faced about this, maybe she's like, a complete idealist. The world works better than reality. Yeah. Like maybe she's, even though she's, trained like you are, like maybe she's still thinking that, things worked out. Things will always work out. And it's not even a matter of faith. It's a matter of just knowing and willing it to be that way, because to admit that there's any other way is just asking for trouble.
Do you think Lydia is supernatural yet? In the way that she vaguely is in the campaign?
Is it something that Peter before Petri would have sensed?
Probably. Just in like the wizard sense of knowing that something is not right.
Mm.
Whereas for Petri is like visceral and obvious. And crucially, they can describe it in detail.
There's two things. So I remember you once saying in the game that there's only one of Lydia out of all the places that you've seen, all the different realities that you've been,
Oh,
that there's only
yes.
one. So I don't know if that makes her out of the ordinary for you or for.
It absolutely does. And I think just for the sake of spice, because I was thinking about I mentioned that I had thought about it.
Mhm.
I think there's only one Peter. I don't know. There's something about the idea that maybe in every other universe something happens. Like maybe I also wouldn't like Peter wouldn't have stuck around, wouldn't have been able to come back like that without Lydia.
Hmm. We'll find out. All right.
We'll find out.
Yeah. How do you best protect them? Idealistic.
I mean, it's protect is such a strong word. I just tried to keep them focused on the task at hand and in line with what's expected of them. She wants to help, and that's not a bad thing, but it will get her hurt.
Which is so funny considering like what she told Zero, that she is the typical agent. I
I know, we've
think that
really
got burned
we've
out of her.
we've completely reversed the dynamic, and I'm
I
obsessed.
know. It's so cool. I love it. Okay. Oh boy. This is gonna be great. Oh. And this comes back to the whole, is it the same question? I don't think it is. Okay, so probably has to be worded slightly differently. What is the one thing that endears you to your protector? It's not the same thing as your question, which motivates you to protect your charge other than obligation. So, huh. Yeah, I have to ask this of you. So what is it about Lydia that you are that you find endearing?
I hate this question. Not
Sorry.
not for any just because it's hard to answer without falling into tropes and terrible shit that I don't want to bring up. I'm very tired, and all I can think of is all the horrible sexist tropes that come first to mind.
Mm.
So I just don't know, really.
Anything opposing to those sexist tropes? I mean,
I'm just thinking, and it's just not working.
mm,
Like, she's an idealist, and that's fine. I, I think the answer might genuinely be, as far as Peter is concerned, nothing. I don't think I think that moment that we had in the like nexus of all realities on that island was the first time he had thought like he had actually found a reason.
hmm.
Before that, it was just instinct.
But that was Petri, though, on Island Zero.
Oh,
So
they're all the same.
you say that.
Why do you insist on categorizing this way? Also, important bit of headcanon. Petri is still around before he becomes a goo monster. Like the personality is still in there.
Okay. All right.
And so is other Petri that I have a different name for that I can't remember. Like
Mm,
Petrichor. Because
Petrichor, yeah.
so the way I understand Petri is basically there are three of him rattling around in there. There's Weird Priest, which is Petrichor. There's Petri, which is the like excited 5-year-old, and Peter, who is the adult agent. And those lines blur a lot.
Mm,
And you could get doubles and triples of that, and they're all sort of freely feeding back in and out of one another. But those are the subtle differences I try to bring to it.
okay. Alrighty. But I mean, is there any? And I'm sorry, if I'm harping on it, I'm just
No,
curious
this is fine.
because
I need the prompting.
I mean, like again, like there's something about her that appeals to all three. If you're saying that Petri and Petrichor do live within Peter before Petri is fully awakened or brought out, or
Before whatever
assimilates.
happens and Peter has to go away for a while.
Right, exactly. So I mean, like, what is in common for the three of them within Lydia that they find, literally they find endearing, a commonality of sorts.
I think we think the same, or like at least I can she can follow the logic in a way that other people can't. Like she's obviously not plural like me, but there's just a I don't know. We work really well together.
Okay,
And there's something there.
there's a
And I think
flow.
that's worth protecting.
Cool. Alrighty.
Don't have to explain myself as much. Well, that will change as time moves on.
Right. Well, I mean, like, okay, so then that leads into what motivates you to protect your charge other than obligation. So I think that flow state, I think that's a fairly hand wavy way to kind of explain it without necessarily going into anything in particular. I mean, a lot of it is instinctual. It feels like with Petri. I mean, like they go by
Yeah,
by what happens. Just like it like sprouts into their being, and then there you go. And being agents, green agents or whatever. Who are you and what do you look like? Lydia Danvers, novice agent in a suit. I, for whatever reason, I always think of Agent Scully, but with a little bit more animation when
yeah,
when
that
I
pretty
think of
much
Lydia.
is it. I think I just Googled hot lady in suit to find that image.
That's hilarious. That's probably what I would
But
plop into Midjourney.
I was definitely thinking Petri needs a Scully when I created Lydia.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully I was close.
No, I
Oh
love whatever they have going on.
my gosh. All right, so Peter, at this point in our past, fresh in division or whatever, or maybe something like connected to, but not necessarily of division yet. Um, what does Peter look like?
Some guy, perfectly generic. I think I'll face cast Peter, like a young Peter Falk.
Play out the scene whatever way works for you, deal with the threat itself, or work through the aftermath in a heartfelt conversation. A scene does not always need to be the guard protecting the charge. Remember, it's about exploring the relationship through these threats. So, what do we think is an appropriate social? Another agent getting on our case? Or, what do you think? Maybe being dressed down, like one of us or both of us being dressed down by a superior? What do we think?
Probably, but what did we do?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do we fuck up? Because that's usually where we get yelled at.
Oh, what if we didn't fuck up? What if we brought in like an omen toddler?
What? What?
Because one of the division moves implies that there is a daycare
Yes, that's
for
true.
an omen class daycare, and I think about that so often.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Ah, crap. Okay. Now you're
Yeah,
making
I
me
mean,
bring it up. Hold on. Let me bring up the character keeper because now I'm like, what? That's true. I don't think well, then again, I've only been in a couple of games, so I don't know if anybody has ever like pulled that move.
it's so much to bring into a game, you know?
Yeah. Daycare. What? Go
I don't even
save.
remember what the move does, but also
Uh,
the division moves kind of it's a lot to look
Here we
at
go.
all at once.
Orphanage visit. Division has an orphanage and a professional set of caretakers dedicated to raising young monsters that have the potential to become omens. Oh boy, it's the apartment with the kids and the
Yeah.
floating blocks. You yourself grew up in this way here and or spent time as a caretaker. When you take this move, answer at least one of the following questions. So, neither one of us has done that because we haven't taken it. Like,
Oh,
you know,
for
you
sure.
haven't.
But
Yeah. But,
but I think this is a special debrief with someone higher up than usual because we brought in
oh, okay.
someone to the orphanage.
Okay. So, how do you imagine that we're getting dressed down for it because we took this kid away?
One of
Or
us was just too kind. I don't know. But yeah,
I mean
maybe
that
it's that we
sounds,
didn't kill the parents. Who knows?
oh geez. Well, I mean, like I don't think we're that high up yet. Like we're just like we're like figuring out how to follow protocol, but then maybe we're still stumbling because we're still trying to figure this shit out. Um or yeah, maybe again, maybe like Lydia's just got like, oh, we can't leave this youngster here. I mean, come on.
And we're not
It's
going
not
to. We're not supposed to. It's against protocol.
right.
We don't find it, somebody else will.
Right. I think we're just gonna have to bring this guy to division, right? I mean, like they have an orphanage, but we just cannot leave him here.
What's your name, champ? I'll get down on my into the youth pastor squat. You know the one.
Yeah. What does the toddler look like?
I'm gonna roll a d6. No, I'm rolling it. We're gonna decide hit location and make some part of their body a tentacle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's just a tentacle growing out of their chest or their back, Doc Ock style.
Okay. Tentacle growing out of their back. Okay. I think I think this kid is just gonna be like, you know, looks pretty normal except for the tentacle. And I think when you get down into your youth pastor squat, I mean, like I think, you know, he will just look at you with like a drooly smile, and then like, you know, the tentacle will kind of come out of his back and kind of like pat you on the face.
Whoa, that's got a hell of a grip there, Sonny.
going to bring you someplace that will hopefully take you out of this battle zone. Okay? I, we can't leave you here. So, can you come with us?
We'll take good care of you. Scout's honor.
And I think we bring this kid um, out, and we bring him to division, to the orphanage.
You've got my second favorite tentacle of any kid I've ever met. Badum crash.
So we bring him to Division's orphanage. What do we think the superior says to us? Like with this special debrief? Because we were not supposed to take him away from the scene?
I think we were, and this is just a do not under any circumstances ever see this child again. Report for decontamination, etc.
Oh, damn. And I think maybe as we're sent out of the headquarters after decontamination. Excuse me. Maybe like I'm sitting out on the steps, back in the suit. And I think you can tell that like she's not her usual self when you look at her back, like, you know, maybe as you're coming up to her. And yeah, she's just kind of like staring out at the sunset wherever we are. How do you feel about that?
I hate it every time. All one time I've ever done it, and it's the worst thing that's happened to me. I don't know. Worst part is I don't know what else to do. I mean, you saw that kid. We don't even know where that tentacle came from. We don't know what they need. And I don't trust Division 2 either, but do a hell of a lot better than someone unprepared.
But I mean, we're not gonna see him again. They won't let us. Peter, what are you...
Absolute secrecy, as they say.
It's really... I kind of reminded me of my younger sibs, you know? I mean, just kind of really cute. But
Yeah.
no tentacles, though, of course.
That you know of. That's,
We had to leave him alone.
I know. I said he was the second strongest tentacle I've ever seen. I wasn't lying.
I was the
I
first.
had a student, no further questions on that, with a very similar sort of situation. That's what made them sit up and take notice.
You probably think I'm getting soft.
Frankly, Agent Danvers, I've never known you any other way. I think I prefer that, to be honest. One of us has to be.
That was not a hard ass move. Trying to reassure the kid.
It's a kid.
Yeah.
And it's the end of the world.
You say that, and that damn song keeps running through my head.
I haven't felt fine in a long time.
I mean, it was one thing when our training was like, okay, here's the protocol. You follow the algorithm and just do what you gotta do. But that's the first time that
Something like that. Longer we're here, I don't think. I don't know. I
you'd
see all
actually.
this. We see all this wreckage. We are the closest to the apocalypse that anyone is ever going to get. The two of us, and however many other recon teams they have, decon, whatever. And I don't know.
I mean, I thought this is gonna sound dumb, but and I probably mentioned it to you already, but I thought it was just gonna be. Thought it was gonna be a big adventure, and just be able to get close to these almonds at some point. I mean, obviously not now, but just see how they work. I mean, they obviously still have some, I guess, modicum of care for humans to work with us, work with division like this.
Sure, but a lot of them were never human,
True.
or so distant from the idea that they just,
Just,
I don't know.
I mean, we're seeing the aftermath right now. I mean, we're at the edge, and I guess all we can do is try to clean up the mess as best as we can and hopefully mitigate the collateral damage.
I really shouldn't be saying this, but some days it feels like the world is already over. We're picking flies off a corpse more than we are saving anything.
Do you really believe that?
More often than not now.
I have to go by the fact that well, aside from today, I have to believe that we're helping. I mean, every little bit helps. It's not like a grand gesture, like we're not the omens, we're not the ones with the powers or whatever, but we are the ones that are trying to make it work after we see power like that reach its edge. That's got to mean something, right? I mean,
Isn't it pretty to think so? I don't know. Some days it feels a lot more like we're keeping ourselves secret than it is we're helping anybody.
maybe some secrets have to be kept. Because
I don't believe that. I'll never believe that. I think everybody would be a whole lot safer if they knew what was going on and had the skill or the preparedness or anything at all to defend themselves rather than having to rely on us. Who knows?
but not everybody can train like us, Peter.
Of course not. But more people than we. I bet that number's higher than you think. And between psychics, ghosts, omens, who knows what's out there that we just don't know about? Who knows what kind of potential we're wasting? Who knows what the omens know, even? You think they've all got a plan just brewing? They're holding back?
I don't know. I mean, this last one, this last one that went rogue and let that little kid in. Was that a plan? Was was that just an accidental crack?
Hard to say. There was an awful lot of meat in that crater. I don't know where it came from. Didn't smell human.
What is that? Oh God. I knew somebody who used to spout off like philosophical stuff all the time. And
Let me
it's
guess, your ex boyfriend, freshman year, smoked a lot of pot.
oh, he wishes he was my boyfriend.
Worse.
But yeah, he would spout a lot of philosophical stuff.
Hope I'm not boring you.
Absolutely not. The difference is he would just spout it out of his ass, whereas you're saying it. And I've known you well enough that you wouldn't just say this shit and not believe. Whereas I don't think he believed in anything in his entire life. So I know this is a silly question,
Mm-hmm.
but do you think we did the right thing?
Mm. Yeah, I think we did. I think this is the only course of events where that kid grows up with anyone who has any idea what he is. I mean, I've visited the orphanage once. We walked through it on training day. Who knows? Maybe he'll be best friends with some other tentacle kid. And that never would have happened in the outside world.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think division should have sole dominion over any of this shit. It's fucked up that we had to make the choice. I think we made the right one.
If you're sitting next to her, she's just gonna kind of like lean her head against your shoulder.
I
That's
think
why.
Petri will, or Peter will get up at that, which sort of like lean away and stand and go, we have work to do.
Okay. And she hops up and gets ready to go to the next job.
Hmm.
Okay.
What did we name the tree?
Hmm?
I just remembered that we had a whole thing. I should really have the other character keeper open.
I do. What do you need?
I'll just do it myself.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have them written down. What do you remember the like two world tree tailors that we came up with?
Yes.
I just now remembered them for the first time in what is it, 7 months?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was trying to reintroduce them, but like nobody wanted to talk to them. So funny.
Yeah, I mean it we have more than enough shit going on as is, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. And you guys are in Vegas right now, so yeah. But I don't remember if we gave them names. We just know that they're both named the same thing.
They're named like Tommy or Boris or something. It was
Something, yeah, hold on. Oh no.
right.
My other note, well, no, because I did keep notes. However, my notebooks are split.
Ooh,
Um,
terrible.
well, because it's like I filled up the one, like,
Yeah,
completely.
no. Unavoidable but regrettable all the same.
Yeah, so like not all the notes are like in the same book, unfortunately. Shit. I mean, maybe we do know them as Boris. They've been around quite some time. So
Yeah.
one is the tailor, and I
Yeah.
believe the other one is the tech or something.
The secretary, like the
Yes, there you go.
something like that.
Yeah, orders our suits and stuff.
And they all have human hands
Yeah.
or whatever. Who
Hmm.
knows? I
But anyway,
sorry, the complete tangent.
um, at some point of these scenes, it's like there has to be something where you are being introduced to the thing that will eventually give you the choice of letting Petri in or
I
letting
mean,
letting them out. So,
there's got to be an omen in it.
yeah, maybe during a job, it's like we get real close to one of them, and
Not even. I'm trying to make this more cinematic and also
yeah, no, 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 go, please,
fit
please.
the like because to me it fully does not matter how Petri turned into a fungus goo thing. That's just not what I care about.
Okay, what do you care about?
I mean, I care about why I I'm here to figure out why Peter wasn't like had to like why that break happened, why he wasn't on speaking terms with the other two for the first half of the campaign.
Hmm. It feels like there was a breakthrough of some sort. I just can't remember what it might have been. Was it Island Zero?
It was Island Zero.
Because you had to expend a lot of energy.
And that was, I think, I mean, it wasn't the first time, but that was like that to me was the biggest. That was the first time Petri ever like guided someone or something else through the whole process.
Yeah,
Whereas before it was all very much just like grab the thing and put it wherever it goes.
yeah. And also too, like you did that weird thing, which I didn't mind, by the way, just so you know, of
I know.
like,
At
like
this
the
point, I
goo.
know.
I'm just saying, like the goo thing, and then like, like kind of taking on like, encompassing Lydia, and then like, coming out of it to give yourself some structure or to be close to someone or something like at that
Yeah,
point.
so
That's fine. That was actually pretty cool, by the way.
I
Um,
liked that.
yeah.
So thank you.
No, that was awesome. I enjoyed
But
that.
yeah, that was I tried to do it with zero in the garden and just wasn't having it.
No,
That was
no.
very funny to me
He's a,
also,
he's a
but
very he's a very teenagery
I
character, so I'm
know.
like, you ain't doing that
I love
kid
him
like that.
so much.
Oh my God.
So I'm here to figure out what happened to Peter, not
Yeah.
necessarily why I became an Omen class, although I understand that's kind of mission critical to Lydia's whole deal.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Because then that's why she had to stay. So,
Mhm.
because conceivably, I mean, like, once the pairing was gone in a way, then maybe she would have tried to get out. But we have to kind of explore why she's maybe in a weirder, worse situation. I don't know.
Maybe she's happier. Maybe this is everything she's ever wanted.
I don't know. So,
So we're on a mission,
mm-hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of supernatural bullshit was happening. We already had a meat crater.
Something that puts her in danger.
Yeah.
So Peter can show.
I mean, I'm thinking like leftover minion type something to like I know I just said physical rather than social, but I like the idea of being tempted by a monster.
Yeah. I mean,
Either of us.
ooh. What if it's something where Lydia is asked first, but whatever the monster says, it's something that for some reason appeals to Peter
Hmm.
and we capture it and maybe Peter does a visit to the creature afterwards.
I like that. I also like the idea of it being, I don't know, maybe in dreams or something like
Okay?
if we're running with rifts again, it could be like we have to so there was like a grove of dreams or a big plant monster or something, and we're there cleaning it up, and it comes back to life more than expected.
Or maybe one of us takes something back that we shouldn't have.
Maybe.
So do you want to play the aftermath after it? I'm like, we have assumed that you
What
and Liddy.
I
Hmm?
I think what matters is what did it offer you?
Hmm.
Was it something to do with Peter or just like seeing your family again?
Maybe it gave her the vision of a normal life or of a more normal life. And Peter was part of it. And
I don't think Peter wants that. Secretly, I think Peter loves this fucking job.
right, right. Which I'm just trying to think if that would have been something that she would have said the perfect or like the more ideal life would be like more of this, but knowing that maybe she and Peter would be doing this for a while together, like deepening the relationship or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like how this is
The
connected,
two
but
of
then
us monstrously fused together in some sort of
no.
come on, play with me in the Cronenberg pits.
Oh my God, no. Oh my gosh. Um, although there is like tangent. I mean, there's a scene from Tales from the Dark Side or one of those type of things. Oh no, it was from Friday the 13th, the series, where they were trying to gather
What?
back
Whatever. I don't know.
from way, way long ago. There was a series that was about cousins trying to get back cursed items that were sold from their deceased uncle's shop. And one of the items was a necklace or a pendant that allowed folks to get their desires met or whatever. And it was like a very Cronenberg type of thing where the guy first wished that he could be with this rock star, and then wanted to be her, and it was just like, oh my God, what? So weird. Anyway,
Yeah, the Cronenberg mines. I'm familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to eat
Me.
3 square TVs a day. That's the plot of Videodrome, right?
No, I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, role-playing game.
Yes. Maybe this is after, like, Lydia basically doesn't tell you what it offered her, but you in dreams later on get that image of maybe you and her, like, like entwined forever.
That is one way to describe present reality.
Do you talk with her about it, or do you go seek out the creature and talk with them?
I don't think I trust the creature. I definitely trust Lydia.
Okay. What do you say? Like, maybe, like, she's still fast asleep or whatever like that, but then you invite her for hot chocolate. I don't know. I mean, like, or knock on her door. What do you do? I mean, like, early in the morning.
Is this a late at night
Yeah,
situation?
this is a late at night situation. What do you
Okay,
do?
fine. That's a different scenario than I was imagining.
Well, I mean, like, you're
No,
you're talking
that's
about a
fine. I
dream.
like it. I'm just
Waking up from such a wackadoodle dream. What do you do?
I like the idea that she's also awake for whatever reason.
Okay.
Just already.
Maybe not necessarily already. Maybe she's, you know,
Well, just for like a normal reason. Just like coffee past her bedtime,
yeah.
Or like, burning the candle at both ends for some other reason.
Hmm.
Maybe she's got a secret plot. Maybe she's trying to find her siblings again.
But she's awake. So if you
So I
knock on
knock
her,
on her door,
yeah.
fully expecting no one to answer.
But she does.
Of course she does.
And she's wearing, like, flannel pajamas or whatever,
Oh,
and tank
Petri is
top.
in uh he would not put the suit on. He's in a tank top and like probably also pajama bottoms.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, it's her basic, like, to
Yeah.
be ready, but then not ready.
Yeah, because you could do I might have to roll out of bed and fight,
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. You all right? I, I, I couldn't sleep. Too much caffeine.
Me either. But
You look like hell. What happened?
would you believe that I was dreaming about you?
What?
I'm not trying to flirt with you. I just
Get in here.
it's okay. So
And she'll, like,
remember
she'll
that
sit you down. She'll sit you down at the little living room that you guys get in your
yeah,
room.
I imagine that every division agent lives in basically a hotel room,
Yeah,
even at home.
yeah, for sure.
That's the way they treat these motherfuckers.
You dreamed about me? Hopefully
I
nothing
dreamed about
terrible.
the end of the world, and you were undeniably there.
Did
I've,
we help?
oh no, we were it, I think. One of
We
us was the harbinger, or the door, or the key, or something. It felt stronger than usual, as dreams go. Do you remember last week when we fell in that pitcher plant thing? And
Yeah, that was a sticky mess.
I'm not asking you what it offered you, but it felt a lot like that. And I don't think it's supposed to linger like this.
You went through decon like I did, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All 9 yards. But anyway,
Did you feel like it was...
no, please. This is the last chance I'll get to talk about this with anyone. Ask your question.
What do you mean the last chance?
If decon fails, there are a lot of things that could happen to me. None of them leave me in a state where I can remember this conversation or the thing that's sticking with me. Whether they just pluck it out and put it in the archives somewhere, or you just never see me again.
No. No, no, no. No, you're fine, right? I mean, it just for whatever reason you got obsessed
I
with...
don't know if I'm fine.
She comes over to you and sits next to you on the couch thing. Just just tell me. What were we doing in your dream?
I'm gonna freak you out when I tell you this. Please, just sit down, get some coffee, get some water.
No, no, I'm wide awake. I
I
mean, like,
hope
and
your
she puts...
stomach's empty.
Okay. I mean, like, just because, she can see the earnestness in your face and hear it in your voice, she's going to hold your hand. And I don't know how
Oh, he
Peter
he
feels about this.
tenses up on that, but not in like a nervous, not in like a it feels almost like revulsion, but he does not pull away. There's just a moment of like recoiling that, and he can't look at you as he says, "We were eating each other, just tearing off big old strips." And then there was a prolonged surgery, and there was no more us. It was some other thing that one or both of us made out of bits together. It didn't have a name, and I didn't. It was the shock of waking up like that that pulled me out of the dream. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I was gonna ask you, did you even have any idea if this was just like a nightmare or...
There were too many details. We all went through lucid dream training. You remember the steps. You count your own fingers. You look at a clock. All this. You ask questions. You try to remember a doorway. I think I was lucid the whole time. And I still just let it happen. And it hurt a lot. And I expected to wake up. And I kept expecting to wake up. And then I fell asleep in the dream. I passed out. I dreamed again. I don't know what was in that dream. I don't remember anything. And then I woke up, and then I woke up, and now I'm here.
Are you warning me?
I think so. Maybe I'm a little afraid of you. Maybe I might ask to be reassigned. if they don't make me.
Are you going to go through the dream protocol with Agent Ehrlich? She
If
seems.
I must. She certainly knows what she's doing.
Yeah. I mean, she might. She might tell you it's just. It is what it is. It's like it's just a dream that needs to be interpreted. I mean, the equipment's still not in an infancy stage, but I mean, just still being worked on. I mean, maybe it'll have answers that, you know, explain it away. I mean, the question I had is, do you want that to happen? And you think it's me that's going to do that?
What do you do when you can't explain it away?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yes, you were so completely and utterly rational in the face of an increasingly, frankly, fucking cartoonish logic of whatever this is. And you can just look right at it and pick it apart like it's a fucking math problem. How do you do it?
I don't know. I think all I can do is try to figure out the mystery, and if it seems too difficult, then I do something else.
What else? That's the question.
My job, I guess.
Isn't our job solving the mystery?
I mean, for cosmic stakes, it's usually omens that figure that stuff out. And their handlers are the ones who just kind of help keep them grounded.
What do you think happens to the handlers? What do you. They're all. There's something wrong with each and every single one of them. Do you think something happens to them? Or do you think they're just brought in and will never be handlers? Because we're not weird enough.
I guess that's maybe something that I'm building towards, Peter. I'd like to think that in the face of everything, I can keep it together. Maybe that's maybe that's my ambition. Maybe I want to be one of those people.
You're going to have to get a hell of a lot stranger for that.
I don't know. You think so? I think I think that I have to be as grounded as possible to give a baseline for how it can be. Because if I fall into the strangeness, if I pretend at being just as out there as they are, then I think I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to do my job. I think I would go mad. It's too much. Maybe it's too much for you.
I don't know. It's getting easier all the time. I mean that. It you see so much weird shit, and suddenly it all starts to fall together, you know? you can start to figure out if a monster is metaphysical or metaphorical or just plain, a god or a monster.
It's only a god if it has worshippers.
You would think that. But then, where'd the first one come from? How do you get a god? How do you know to worship if there's nothing there?
Or is it a creation from someone crying out for help? Someone crying out for something out there to give them some solace or peace or pain.
I think it might be both. I think there's something about us humans that makes them want to listen. And I know what makes us so special. And I don't have an answer. It's just a gut feeling.
But do you feel that this plant monster that you fell into, do you think it's infecting you in some way? I mean, I've dreamed, of course, but I haven't dreamed like that.
I think I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's just some monster. It feels like this is the biggest step. This is I've been falling down the stairs for a while and I finally hit a slide or crossed over a threshold or was thrown clear of the wreckage. Does that make any sense?
Thrown clear. Could also mean you're in shock. I'm not trying to rationalize how you feel, how you
No,
think.
please. I want you. That's why I came to you. You want to know how I feel? Right now, I feel like I slipped, I fell, or I'm not in the car anymore. I'm flying out the windshield. I haven't hit the road yet. Like there's nothing I can do. And if anyone in this entire goddamn organization can find me a way out of that, it's you.
But if you're already out of the car, does that mean I'm still in the crash?
Who knows? Speed up and find out. Sure beats the hell out of waiting.
Do you want to know what it whispered to me or promised me?
You don't have to tell me. You said no once when I asked. I'm prepared to respect that.
Okay. I know you don't. Well, I don't think you care about grounding yourself or, depending on anyone. But just know I am here for you. I mean, we train together. You know my shit. And even if you don't want to be close or anything, just know, at the very least, I can offer an ear to listen. I don't know if you think that's enough.
Who's here for you if I can't be?
Why do you why would you care about that? I mean,
You said it yourself. I'm slipping. Going somewhere else. Not. I'm sure as shit not what you need right now. And don't fucking act like you don't need anything. I know you better than that. I know you don't just stay up because of the coffee. I know there's something keeping you up, and I know you're not telling me. And that's okay. You don't have to. But find somebody. Please.
why are you trying to push me away? Why are you
I'm scared of what happens when I hit the road.
Do you remember when we did that obstacle course in training?
You're going to have to be more specific.
This is the one where they put us in the simulator for the particular, I think it was the Fey reality or something like that. They dialed it in where it was like that blasted heath
Oh,
or
with the
something.
glitter? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
God. How does they even do that?
You
Anyway, what?
you could have left me behind then. That was training. You know, they paired us off, yeah. But you didn't have to stay. You didn't have to try and get me out. They would have paired you with somebody else. They would have, I don't know, like said, okay, well, she failed the test and you get to have a different partner.
So what? You owe me for basic human decency? That's the only reason you're sticking around?
No. Is it so inconceivable, Peter, that maybe I give more than two shits about you after all this time? Is it really that hard to believe?
No. No, it isn't.
And if
That's
I
what I'm afraid of, is that they fucked us both up so bad that we can't be okay without the other. That fucking terrifies me. I don't like being dependent on you. I don't like being made anything. I don't want you caught up in this. Whatever the fuck is happening to me. I want you to be okay if I'm not.
I don't know what you think. I don't know if what am I trying to say? Um what do you think okay looks like for me?
I can't answer that question. No one else can answer that question.
Right.
You shouldn't be asking it to anyone but yourself.
Right. So why worry if I'm going to be okay if you don't know what that looks like for me? With or without you.
I don't know if I could make it any more obvious than coming in here and telling you that I had a dream where we stitched ourselves together, lost all sense of self, Agent Danvers. But I am having a very hard time imagining any world without you, any life I could have.
Is this where you're going to be stupid and then leave me now to go back to your own room?
Not anymore. I don't think anything happens.
Eh.
If anything, I think Peter just collapses on the fucking shitty carpet, still fully clothed. But it is a deep and dreamless sleep.
Mm. Why they are tied together, and then to kind of break that up a bit, like why it's tragic that they won't be together in the same way, obviously, like as we know in Apocalypse Keys. Yeah, so there's something weird going on, and I think Peter is thinking he's being protective by trying to push her away, but yeah, I don't think she's buying it. But I'm just trying to think of like how they're like why she would stay regardless. Do you think it goes like, even further into the past than that? Like you think that there's some kind of like psychic training to really tie them together, because it's the only other thing I can think of that maybe it got twisted in some way, which is why Petri had the weird dream.
I think we can fully establish that as happening during training,
Mm.
whatever it was. In like a Scientology kind of way. You know, they okay, so in Scientology, they make you do this thing where you just sit in a room with another person and do not break eye contact for like 8 to 14 hours.
And I've done that for, I can't remember how long it was, but I remember it was a very 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 long time when I used to do Kundalini yoga, and I,
Shit gets weird.
well, I mean, like trying to look into somebody's eyes for a prolonged period of time is really disconcerting, and especially when you don't know them, they're a complete stranger. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
You know, what if psychic powers were real? That would make shit get even more fucked up, I think. So maybe we are literally psychometrically like bound together.
Oof. But why the touch of revulsion though?
I mean, it's a little bit the like it's a little bit what I call the Catholic double backflip of being disgusted with yourself for enjoying something.
Oh my
And it's a
god.
little bit just like it, when the crux of your nightmare is like, you know, getting as close at like closer than physically possible to someone. When you have just received a vision of you know, the worst possible version of touching someone else, then them holding your hand will freak you out a little bit.
Hmm. All right. So where do we want to find the next scene, you think? I mean, we don't have to follow like,
No,
charge and guard
I,
roles, but
I
just do stuff.
genuinely don't know. Maybe one of us goes to Erlich.
Hmm. Okay.
Where do you have any idea where this is gonna end?
Well, I mean, like
Because
we
I
know
have
how it.
less. I mean, we know how it ends, but I have less of an idea of how to get there now than I did when we started this. And I don't know if I can commit the time necessary to muddle through
Like, did you
these
want to?
scenes.
Did you want to end early? I mean, like,
I mean, not exactly, but I'm
I
just
mean,
like I've lost the idea of it as it is. I don't know where I'm going anymore
oh
with
dear.
this.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean,
How do you imagine we get to Peter quote sacrifice unquoting himself to, I mean, maybe not even save Lydia, maybe just to do it.
well, it's like that constant temptation, yeah?
Yeah,
Where,
of course.
right. So,
And you finally take a bite, and what do you want? You want a second bite. Except the second bite ends the world.
well, what did the first bite look like?
I know, but also, where do you want Lydia to end up out of this? Do you think? Where do you think Lydia ends up? Because I don't know a whole lot about how she feels in current game.
Well, let's see. She looks like she is sweet on you when you're not looking. Um, she has been staunchly loyal and explained to Zero that she was there before Petri became Petri. I mean, before Peter became Petri. And yeah, maybe she met her aspirations in the most horrible way possible, you know, because her partner has fallen into whatever helped them become an omen.
Sure, but how does she feel about that? I mean, this is her dream come true. And Peter is still here, kinda. It doesn't sound like he doesn't want this.
I mean, again, it delves into possibly other scenes that maybe we're not going to see because it would have to mean a side of this triumvirate or something that um, shows more Peter, the Peter that maybe she
Well,
ended up loving in her own way, but then like, that Peter is lost to this now being called Petri.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean,
I mean that's grief, of course, but
yeah, she fell victim to her own ambition, maybe.
maybe I don't know. It's literally up to you. So yeah, do you have any like specific questions you think we can answer at a scene?
Hmm.
Because to me, for Petri, I think like the only scene that we really need left is like basically a monologue out of him being all like, "This is a not exactly. I see it now. This is a good thing. I'm gonna go become an ooze monster." But some like would, other than watching it happen, I don't think there's any questions left to answer for him that I can think of immediately.
I'm just trying to think of who would ask the question. Would it be Lydia or would it be like, I don't know, somebody like Agent Ehrlich or something like that? Um, I mean, did he always want it to happen? Or was something calling out to him?
But I think to him it's hope. Like in every scene that we've seen of him in this game, Peter has been nihilistic and fatalistic and like struggling. And now something has come through and shown him a vision of not just a future, but a present where the world is different. And suddenly, it's endless possibility. And the darkness is just necessary to bend the light to places it would never reach otherwise.
Just trying to think of how like would lead us to the place of like, her being needed to ground Petri. That's the other thing. That's the other aspect of their relationship.
Mm.
She knew you when you were Peter, but does she perform her function? Besides being an agent, of course, but I mean like the specific function of keeping you grounded so as not to become that next meat crater or what have you.
I'm not sure she does. I mean, I genuinely don't know. You asking these questions has led me to a place where I'm not totally sure even what we are in current game.
Mm. I mean, does he care about her?
Of course. What kind
But
of
as
question
a
is that?
well, I mean, again, it's like because the relationship didn't start.
And I don't think it was ever that kind of relationship. And I don't think Petri is like capable of that in that way. It's too human.
Oh no, but I'm saying it's like because it didn't. Evidently, it didn't work for starting Peter off that way either. So that's why I'm trying to figure out like how did they sense the possibilities in each other? And maybe did she sense that he always had the capacity to be an omen? And that was part of her ambition. I just don't know if she would be that mercenary about it. I don't know.
I don't think so. But
I don't think so either. And again, it's like I come back to the grounding part of it. It's like, what about Lydia's the grounding for Petri, if anything?
I
Because
mean, she's always there. I can always count on her being there. I ask her before every mission, will I ever see you again? And if she says yes, the answer is yes.
yeah,
So maybe we need to get her to that point. Maybe while Petri is losing his mind at the sheer possibility out there, she's becoming more and more certain in a sort of supernatural sense.
because she has to be. Yeah.
And something latches onto that, or she finds something in a hole in division somewhere. Gets a little bit weird with it.
She is the typical agent that thinks atypically. What if what if later on she makes a bargain of her own? Will I see you again at the end of the mission? And the answer is always yes.
So far.
So far.
That is literally the first thing they said to each other on they said to her on screen. I think that is the heart of it somehow.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe there was a mission that really opened up Petri on that path. And maybe that is a question that he had asked. No, maybe it's the question that Peter asked. And regardless of what happened, she always said yes. Even though at the end of that mission,
You'll never see Peter again.
yeah, but she had to give him hope somehow.
And it turns out years down the line that she was correct.
She gave him that last little bit of hope, maybe to keep him holding on within. And then Petri became Petri, and she had to always be there to say yes.
But who is that a deal or is that something she decided for herself? Is there a third party here? In a different version of this game
Mm-hmm.
where Petri still has a master, that's where we'd slot that in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is not this game.
That is not this game, no, because, yeah, you changed into something completely different.
Maybe it's with Division. Maybe there's something. Have you played the video game Control? Are you aware at all of the video game Control?
Mm-mm.
Their Control. Do you know what you know about the SCP Foundation?
Yes, I very much do.
Okay, Control is basically that with the serial numbers filed off. It's a video game.
Okay.
Uh, and their version of the like division headquarters is a big brutalist like impossible labyrinth with a black pyramid at the center, and the black pyramid is like a bunch of psychic entities from beyond the stars that we know nothing about, but that's who really runs division
Right.
in that version. So
Gotcha.
maybe you're making a deal with Boris
Maybe.
on some level
Yeah.
or something else.
Or
Maybe that's
maybe
what it takes to be a handler.
getting advice from the world trees? Sure. I mean, they do,
No, giving something up to division.
hinging on the fact that her former relationship with the being known as Petri is going to keep them grounded and under control.
That's what you want. Or that can just be a consequence of some other thing that Lydia wants. It might be as simple as I want to know for sure.
Who does?
Lydia. And the finger on the monkey's paw curls. And you don't know any better, but everything you say is true.
Mmm, that could be fascinating. That's a harbinger, or excuse me, a gnomon power on its own. Are you kidding? Oh gosh.
That's one of Petri's powers, I think. Once I eventually get around to writing those. But that's his moment of truth, or whatever the equivalent is. Well, not Petri exactly, but the Angel playbook, which in true me fashion, I can't even when I'm purpose building a playbook, I can't play the playbook as written.
Breaking point when you mark your last name condition. I've been terrible about trying to like throw conditions at you guys.
Yeah, there's so many rules in this game. Truly. But no, what I was imagining for Petri's breaking point is essentially you're tired of being misunderstood. Like all of this, all of this speaking with words is is a burden that you have never had, that you've never felt more. It's time for you to cast off and speak truth as only you, the angel, the divine judgment can. Tell how evocative phrase.
Describe how the world warps to bear your truth.
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm. Maybe you will end up entwining with Lydia after all. Oh boy.
Who knows?
Who
That
knows?
that's a different game.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. It feels like, yeah, it feels like if we don't base it in some sort of love and caring of some sort, that it's going to be more of a toxic relationship of sorts that they started off with, like a codependency, possibly brought about by the training, possibly between each of each other's like own traumas and bullshit, whatever. And yeah, maybe that's what started them together, and then just kept them going. And now it's a different dynamic because now she is.
Yeah, they have to have made the decision to care about each other anyway at some point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Um,
And weirdly, again, I think that happens on screen for Petri. Maybe it happened a long time ago for Peter, but like, I mean, maybe that is it. Maybe Peter wanted to like, maybe maybe we weren't together for those 10 years. Maybe you've just recently been assigned to me, or like I'm one of the older of the four omens that we have.
right.
I think the oldest, we decided.
Yeah.
But there could have been a good 5 years in there where whatever this thing is was not Petri, Peter, or Petrichor, like it was just a monster or a puddle of goo.
I think you had to, again, evolve, awaken, or transform in this particular sense. And maybe that's when they brought her in.
Maybe.
Maybe. But there had to have been something. Would they have known? Yeah, they would have known. They could have easily looked up an old file, perhaps, of their history. And that's why she was tapped to be brought in. One,
Well,
because of her ambition, like the
yeah.
previous ambition, and two, because of the old tie.
There's also like a layer here of I think Peter becomes a better agent at some point in this process, probably between these two scenes, those
Hmm.
last two scenes.
Yeah.
Because like I'm just thinking about shit I made Petri do, and uh, the thing that's sticking out to me now is knowing about Zero, which means he was like high level up there.
Yeah. He probably did. He probably did.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
so maybe our last scene is like Peter comes back from secondary decon or whatever and doesn't remember Lydia. even before he becomes Petri.
I think that would be devastating to her.
Oh, but then you get him back. You get to be devastated all over again.
Maybe that's why she's remaining businesslike with you, but then only gives you looks like behind your back. Unless you grow eyes in the back of your head, which, hey, quite
Wouldn't be the
possible.
first time,
Right, right,
be the
right.
last.
No, yeah, it would be funny. It would be funny if instead of Zero asking Lydia, it would be Zero asking Petri
Yeah.
about that particular past, if he remembers, which
I mean,
he
he
may or may
does
not.
clearly. He it's in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere, right? But who is the inside that Zero would be talking to at that point? Would it be completely
I
Petri? Would be somewhat Petrichor, or would it be Peter somewhere in there, like maybe hiding the truth? Who knows? Who
Who
knows?
knows? Maybe Division convinced Peter he was a threat to you, and he didn't actually get his memory wiped. He was just acting like it. Or I know I really like the idea of fighting through and becoming Petri just to remember you. Because the way that, and I think I'd said this during the whole island monologue about how Petri's powers work, TM, is that you can't just bring anything over from any reality. You have to like you have to reach out a hand and wait for something to reach back. And there has to be a first handshake.
But why? Hmm. If we wanted to make that like the last scene, just for say,
Yeah.
why? Or would that be Lydia looking at Petri in a more human form, and then just kind of, would Petri admit that then? As she's brought back into that particular part of division. No longer with damage control, no longer with cleanup, but now with, as a handler, specifically for you, Petri.
I asked for you by name, Lydia.
Now, do you think that she recognizes it as you,
I think
as
there are
Peter?
shades of it. I think for the first time in however long it's been, like you do.
Peter?
Not quite.
The tag on the door says Petri, or Petri, as in Petri dish.
Wasn't what I was thinking of when I came up with the name. And I don't think I know how to read. But it'll be nice to work with you again. Not who you're expecting, I know. But it is what you were expecting.
He told me about that dream
You have to be more specific.
about being entwined together, or eating each other, consuming each other.
No. What about it?
Is that a was that a hope for this new form of yours, I guess? Is that why you asked for me?
I don't know. But to answer your question that I don't think you asked, it's hard to keep track of these things. That was really his job, you know. I'm entwined with everything now. The whole world is part of me, or it will be. I can just touch it. I can taste it. It's all beautiful. It's all possible. It's all right there. And I'm right there with it. And you're right here. You're not anywhere else.
Is that a good thing? That I'm just here?
I think so. Means you're not part of me.
I guess that's a good thing, being me.
I think
Just
so. I think it's. I don't want to be the whole world. Get horribly dull.
I think they're gonna ask you to help them keep the world safe. Maybe make the world better a little bit at a time.
Well, I could hardly say no, now that it's self-preservation. Barely even know who I am anymore. The only way to find out, I think, is to go out and meet me. I want you to come along.
Do you remember anything about when we were partners a while back and doing all those cleanup missions and well, it's funny, I'd left for a little while and now I'm back. Because of you.
Are you happy with that? Do you want to be back? Is there anywhere else or anything else or anyone else you'd rather be?
She kind of touches the door. I don't think so.
Fascinating. I'm happy for you.
Well, I hope you'll find me helpful in this new role. Petri. We have to get ready for a briefing in a few more
Right.
hours.
You've already been helpful. Just this conversation has clarified a lot for me. It's been difficult now that I'm somewhere else, too, to keep it all straight.
What's that like?
I'd show you if you want.
How?
Can't tell you. Well, hard to say, really, but I'm made of light, and so is everything else. So I can make you see whatever I want, including whatever I am. Every piece of the world has a little bit of me in it. All I have to do is drag it out, tell you where to look. It won't be the same afterwards, though. Nothing ever is.
I didn't think that doing this job years ago, I could stay the same. Even with all the protocols in place, even with all the regulations we were supposed to follow. But I tried not to get swept up in it. And you helped. I thank you for that. Do you think I could handle seeing what you see?
Oh, definitely. Yes, absolutely.
Well, what do I need to do?
All right, I don't actually know. But the image in my mind is that it's stand up straight and close your eyes, and then he kisses you like and something like mouth to mouth contact, something
Mm-hmm.
happens.
That's amazing.
So
Although what
stand up
she
straight and
sees.
close your eyes.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think she sees? It, as we've established, it's not Petri's question to answer.
Right. Hmm. I think the camera sees, like, if you do truly get up and kiss her while her eyes are closed, I think when she feels that, she just flinches slightly because she wasn't expecting it, but yet she doesn't draw away. And then when you end the kiss and her eyes open, the camera will see her face like a light from underneath the skin with some kind of light. And then it'll take us through her point of view, which is there are different prismatic shades. She will raise what she believes is her hand to you, where you
Oh,
are
I don't
look
think I'm there. At least I don't think I'm where I was standing.
right. But I mean, like, she raises her hand where she thought you were, and instead she just sees worlds upon worlds, space dust and nebulae and stars everywhere, and the patterns of the walls, drop off to nothing. And maybe there's even shifting of these worlds as there are ripples and patterns entwining upon themselves. And it's not a straight line. It's curve. Curve upon curve of light. And I think she will close her eyes again and collapse on the floor as if she's run. Went 0 to 60 in however many seconds or less than. And pant. How are you so calm? Seeing all this.
I'm not. I don't remember what calm feels like. I have all this energy now. For a second there, I think I did.
She rises to a kneeling position and swallows really hard. Like as if she's going to be sick, but she slowly gets up off the floor. She's using the wall to help herself up. And you think I can help you? Stay together? Keep it together?
Yes. Or at least you make me want to try. I don't quite know why yet.
And she slowly nods. I think I need to, I think I need to decompress. See you at the briefing?
Of course.
I am here for you, Petri. And she hesitates over your name.
Well, if it ever comes to that, I'm sure I'll be glad.
Thank you for asking for me. It means something.
I should hope so. It's the only name I remembered. I don't think I know anything else. I'm not totally sure I've ever been out of this room.
You were. You were. A long time ago. Maybe not like this, as you are now, but you were. I remember.
Bye, Lydia. It's nice to meet you.
Bye, Petri. I'll see you. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? And as she moves slowly out of the room, I think she'll kind of take a furtive look back And she'll say, under her breath, "Bye, Peter." And then she'll probably have a little lie down before the briefing. And we can make that the
I
last
think
scene
that's
tonight.
game.
Yeah.
This was great. Thank you for scheduling this.
Yeah, not a
I
problem.
can't turn the voice off now. I just have to be soft spoken and earnest for the rest of the night, I guess.
I guess. I guess. So I don't know if you have any specific stars or wishes or what have you. I mean, we weren't really playing like charging guards. So
No, I don't think
I'm not
so.
concerned about feedback, but I mean, like, I'm just curious about if you have any.
I I mean I'm really grateful to you for like sitting through this and talking through it and like I don't think either of us knew where this was going to go or had
No.
any idea and it took a lot of work to get there and I just really appreciate that. Because this
Uh,
didn't need to happen. We could just continue doing whatever we were doing on Mondays.
yeah, true. But no, I mean, I thought it would be interesting, but yeah, I find it funny that it's like it's still kind of undefined, It's like a different kind of.
What are we to each other? Who knows?
Yeah.
Peter, probably. We'll have to play to find out.
Yeah. Although Petri's doing a lot of his own damn thing, being very strange and
Yeah, but he's
really
not really acting on the world now, is he? And
no.
I have been trying to pull the like more Peter out, like in interacting with Eli,
Mm.
the fool.
Well, he's a lost tourist, so
For now.
for now. But hey, I mean, that's how he is. He sort of knows all the places, but can't get out. So who knows? Um, yeah, stars for just like trying to figure this out. I mean, like it's like it's still undefined basically, but I think there's still some feelings there
Oh no, I
that
think I mean we're definitely a different place than we were at 5 o'clock.
yeah. But hopefully like a little bit closer to where that was like for the beginning of Apocalypse Keys. So this kind of like
Oh yeah.
gets us in that mode of, oh, okay. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I feel kind of bad. I've set Petri up to be such a reactive character that like he really doesn't have motivations outside of having a good time.
Mm.
And that feels that's never where you want to be if you want to be a good, considerate role player. But I've been having a good time with it, and everyone else has seems to have been as well. So
I mean, I think well, everybody's been kind of exploring in their own way, although I'm still thinking about the first mystery and like, how freaking weird it got just for the first mystery. So, oh my God. Gotta.
yeah, I took some big fucking swings right out the gate, huh?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just interesting to hear what people are thinking in terms of
I damn, I
where they
haven't
see
vomited up a
themselves.
book in so long.
Hey,
I could totally do that. That would even be relevant meeting Prometheus.
mm-hmm. Yeah, forbidden books. Sure. You got that move. So use it.
I sure do. I also have two other moves that I can make whatever I want.
Yeah. So start pulling that out.